this bike is a head turner.
What it's like being a BMW owner? What it's like being S1000 owner?
Yep. Yes, sir. It's amazing. That's one. It is amazing. I would not give it up. It's so amazing in terms of electronics. Amazing.
What's going on, y'all? It's Mr. Me 2 back for another video, and look what we have here, guys. So I just cleaned up the Bimmer Kata the Dragon. We just cleaned her up. Definitely got some things that we need to do before season really gets underway, but we cleaned her up a bit. It's amazing out here right now. Sun is booming. But so today's video, we're actually gonna get on a bike. We're gonna take a little trip. I need some better lighting, but today's video we're actually gonna talk about what it's like being a BMW owner. You know, what it's like being an S1000 owner, the pros, the cons, you know, how much it costs, you know what I mean, the attention he gets. You know what I mean? Like I said, the pros, the cons, everything in between. I've had it for now over 3 years. I wouldn't trade it for the world. This is my dream bike. So we're gonna hop on this beast, start her up, and then we're gonna go take a quick ride. I'm actually using the DJI Action 5. So drop a comment below. Got the DJI Mic 2, and I'm using the DJI Action 5 Pro. Let me know what you guys think of the audio. Let me know what you guys think, but we'll get her started up here. Let's see if we can give you guys a quick cold start. All right.
Yep. All right, folks. Amazing. So we're gonna hop on here, take a little ride, test out the DJI Mic, try the DJI Osmo Action 5. Sorry, and then we'll reconvene, talk about what it's like to be a BMW owner, and anything. Like, subscribe, comment, guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm really gonna be back on my stuff this season. I know I've been saying, I said it last season. I posted a couple videos, and my apologies for being inconsistent. Sometimes life just hits you, and I know it's not an excuse, but life hits you sometimes, and you gotta pivot, you gotta make some sacrifices. But we're back doing what I love, and I'm gonna make sure I stay on the ball this year and going forward. All right, appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Man, it is amazing to be back on a bike, bro. Yes, sir. So, let's get into it, shall we? What is it like being a BMW S1000RR owner? Guys, it's amazing. That's one. It is amazing. I would not give it up for anything, all right? But let's start off with, what do you guys want? Good, bad? Let's start off with the bad, all right? We'll kind of segue into kind of the good part. We'll start off with the bad. So the bad, let's see if we can go in here. Got a nice parking garage. Let's get to the top floor. But yeah, so what I would say is, starting off with the bad, when it comes to having a motorcycle, one, if you're getting into motorcycles, you should know, like, motorcycles, it's a luxury. So to have a motorcycle, it is a luxury. That is one, alright? Maintenance alone, parts go bad, anything goes wrong, it's a luxury, because especially if you live in a place like Canada, Toronto, Canada, or North America, live where there's kind of, you need a car. So having multiple vehicles is a luxury, and that's what I'll start off with. So that alone, police up here. Yeah, let's start over. So, like I said, so having a bike, it's a luxury, alright? So I would say the cons of having a BMW S1000RR. Number one is parts maintenance. So yes, I would say oil changes is kind of usually about $80 for the oil, $85 for the oil, 4 to 5 liters, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Filter, whatever, you're at around $120 for your oil and filter. Alright, but the biggest thing is, unless you're a mechanic yourself and you know what you're doing, you will have to take into consideration that you have to take this bike to a mechanic, to a dealership, and not a lot of people know what they're doing when it comes to bikes. So of course you want to take it to someone that's reputable, that you trust, right? You don't want to just take it to Joe Schmo and they mess up your bike. So I would say, one, the maintenance got to take into consideration the maintenance. But definitely take into consideration, if you take it to like a dealership, like a BMW Motorrad dealership, it's going to cost you more than you just kind of you having like a Suzuki, a Yamaha, you know what I mean? One of the Japanese bikes, which are great bikes, but the maintenance and actually servicing them is a little bit less costly. And a lot more people know what they're doing when it comes to those bikes. So that's the one thing, that's the one con I would say, is when you want to fix your bike, when anything to do with your bike, you want to be careful and cognitive of what's going on and who's taking care of your bike, because these bikes have so many different things. They're so amazing in terms of electronics, features on these bikes that, you know what I mean, it's not just mechanical, you know what I mean? So that's one. It is pricey when it comes to taking it to a BMW dealership or getting it done by someone professional that you really do trust. That can be expensive. For regular maintenance like oil change and stuff like that, I can do it myself. That's easy, that's no problem. You should be able to do that stuff. Okay. No worries. Well, all good, no worries. Well, so security just said I gotta get out of here. Well, let's resume this video somewhere else. Alrighty guys, so before I was rudely interrupted, like I said, maintenance on this bike is calm when it just comes to changing your brake pads. You can do it yourself, that's pretty chill. Changing your oil and stuff like that and filter, that's pretty chill. The only thing, like I said, it gets expensive when you want to take this to a dealership, take it to someone that you do trust. It could get pricey on these bikes, as like I said, they have a lot of neat parts about them that are not standard like some other of the brands. Now, besides that, when it comes to the cons of this bike, is it can really get you in trouble. You can look at it as a good thing or a bad thing, but this bike can really get you in trouble. Now, what I say by that is, particularly with this bike, it's 1,000 cc's. You know what I mean? So that's 1,000 cc engine displacement. That is the fastest that you can get in a super sport bike. Obviously, like Ninja H2 are supercharged, but this bike can really get you in trouble, and not just with the law. It can really get you in trouble in terms of safety. And what I mean by that is, any little blip of the throttle and you are not paying attention, or maybe there's debris around, or you're just not well equipped to operate this vehicle, it is not something you want to play with at all, guys. So I would definitely say, when it comes to this bike, it's amazing, but the sheer power of this bike can actually be a very dangerous thing. So I do not recommend this bike to beginners. No bueno. All right. And I would probably say one more con about this bike, and I think all bikes deal with this, is the faster you go on this bike, the more gas you're guzzling, and also this bike takes premium gas. 91 plus is what I put into this gas. So if obviously in terms of pockets and financials, this can run you some change. So beware of that. Gas wise, it's gonna run out of gas. Obviously, if you get great filters and oil, great, it's gonna have a good oil life, but this bike's quick and it's meant to go quick. It's super sport, so that gas will run you. And I'll say lastly actually is parts. You want to get parts, stuff like this forged carbon piece that I got from RPM. To that piece, the one on the right and left, cost about $900 to $1,000 Canadian. All right, guys, just those two pieces alone. So just keep in mind, you get Ducatis, you get top of the line BMWs, you get something like this, it's going to cost you a pretty penny when it comes to just keeping it maintained, like I said, upgrading it with terms of aftermarket parts. Also, God forbid, if you want to fix this bike, it's going to cost you some money. So those are the cons I would say when it comes to this bike, and overall what I think are the downsides of this bike. All right, and don't worry, I signed up for it. I knew what I was looking for. Oh, we got some bikes over there. Yo, the bikes are out today. The bikes are out today, folks. The bikes are out today. The bikes are out today. That's about 5 bikes in a span of, I don't know how many seconds. I love to see it. bike in terms of pros. This bike is a head turner. When I mean head turner, people really want to know what is that, and it comes from the sound, it comes from the look, you know what I mean? And when people see that BMW badge, they're just like, yo, this is a real machine. All right, so that's what I would say. This bike gets tons of attention. You'll get people wanting to take pictures with it, sit on it, asking about it, you know what I mean? I have lots of mods that I did to this bike. When I started this bike, it was just white and red with the black accents, of course, but I've added obviously my carbon fiber forged. I've added a lot of different things. The wings, I did take off the Zoma stealth mirrors, I'll put those back on, but a lot of different added parts that I've put onto this bike that's made it. And obviously I have my guy and he's flag in the back. But head turner pros, this bike's gonna get attention. It's a head turner for sure. What I would say is another pro of this bike is getting parts is going to be easier. It's obviously a newer bike. It's not like an 03, it's still a 2015. Obviously that's now 10 years old, more than 10 years old. But getting parts for this bike, it's still relatively easy to get, so that's always a pro. So that's a good part. So it's a head turner, easy to get parts. This bike has so many goodies that I love. The main thing I honestly love, and probably people are like, what the hell, why do you want, I mean, it's on a super sport, is cruise control. I actually really love the damn cruise control feature on this bike. You don't understand. I use it more often than not. I actually use cruise control in my car when I go on the highway. I really do use cruise control a lot, because you are going to be going fast on this bike. It's a lot going on with this bike at all times. So I like the fact that I can just put it in cruise control and I can take it easy for 10, 20, 30 seconds or even a couple of minutes. I went to Michigan on this bike. I've been to Detroit on this bike. This bike, cruise control saved me. My back, it saved my back. It saved so much when it comes to comfortability and making things easier to ride this bike. It makes it so much easier. So I would say cruise control is an amazing feature on this bike that I really do like. The Brembo brakes, braking is amazing on this bike. Of course I can upgrade those braking packages, but what it comes with, it's amazing. The power on this bike is amazing. That's a con on this bike, or a pro on this bike. What I really do like on this bike is the electronic suspensions. That's amazing. I do love that. So it's adaptive, of course. This bike has different features in terms of lap timing, heated grips. I really love heated grips especially when you live in Canada. When it starts to get to the colder months, especially if you're going outside at nighttime, the heated grips definitely do wonders. So I love that. Overall, I would say the high beams is amazing too. So I love the high beams. I like that this has dynamic traction control. So if you want to be a wheelie demon, you really want to unlock this bike, you really can set the dynamic traction control to -1 to 7, or you can go +7. So it allows you to be a bit more, it allows you to be more hands-on and understanding of how much power you want, how much traction control you want. I really do like that. As someone that came from a 600, this might be my first 1000. This gave me a lot of grace when it came to that. But besides that, overall, bike has been amazing. The only things that I've honestly really need to fix on this bike has really just been cosmetic things. When I got it from the last person, there were some certain cosmetic things they dropped the bike before, so there's certain things that just need to be fixed and done up. So I still have things to do on this bike. But overall, guys, 10 out of 10 review on this bike. No complaints. I don't know what I would wish differently, but I definitely love my bike. That's all I gotta say. I love my bike. I recommend it to anyone. So pros and cons, like I said, we got some cons, but I think there's more pros on this bike. And everything, like any bike, guys, there's always gonna be the regular maintenance, the regular things, and you want to fix it's gonna cost money. But I think the pros definitely outweigh this bike, and so on and so forth. And I think one thing I didn't mention is, I think I mentioned a bit, but when it comes to the parts you can get for it, compared to I had a Gixxer 600 03, those parts were obviously scarce as an 03. Having this bike, there's just so many more parts. So many people have this bike, So I was able to, oh geez, someone's ripping. I was able to draw inspiration from a lot of different people, which allowed me to put my own twist on this bike. If you want to get BMW S1000, especially this gen, oh my god, how did I forget? Asymmetrical lights is number one. This is what makes this bike mean. Come on, you look at this, like 2014 down, it's the bigger lights switched on that side. I actually really like the 2015 and 2019. I like this I like 2015 and 2018. I like this way of the asymmetrical light, having the bigger light on the left side, or if you're on the bike the right side. But this is what I really do like. This is what makes it really aggressive. I do like the new 2025 2026s for sure, but this is a pro for me. This look, that was top tier for me. That's what made me like, I need that for sure. What I would also say about this bike that's a con is the community that you get. So the BMW community is amazing, guys. So I remember when I got this bike, I actually was able to go to the dealership, and they actually had tons of community events they invite you to because you have a BMW. So just Ducati, the Ducati boys, they have tons of community membership type of programs, so on and so forth for Ducati, that make the experience of having Ducati really amazing. I would say for you, it's not there yet with Ducati, but they're doing things that I really do, because I've got my bike done at fixed and serviced at BMW before. I've gotten invited to demo rides, and I consistently get invited to those things. I have a rapport with some of those guys over there as well, so it makes the experience of having a BMW a lot more fun and enjoyable, and it makes you feel like you really are part of something special. So that's definitely a pro as well, is the community that this brings to you. But listen, guys, I want to say appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'm probably gonna go do some more riding. I'll probably do another video on something else as well, but I wanted to just get this out the way, because a lot of people ask, hey, what's the pros and the cons of having a BMW? But this was definitely one of them that I felt like I needed to put the way and let you guys know about my feelings on the BMW and what being an owner of one. It's been amazing, so can't regret it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and appreciate you guys.